Well, we'll figure it out.
Wait, how do you mute your headphones? Shit.
It's in the bottom left-hand corner of Discord, next to your name.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. See ya.
There we go.
Okay. Only Hjax can unpause the game.
Oh, huh.
We're in a stasis forever.
Operation commencing. We don't have enough minerals.
It sucks that the emotes like ruin the evil face.
Yeah, that's...
I wanted an evil face.
I always hate that, yeah. Like, I turn that off in Slack and stuff. I don't want it. Don't take over my ASCII emotes, man. I want my freedom. God, everything is late. Oh wait, no. No, it's not that late. My probe was late, but everything else is fine. Oh.
Enough minerals.
What a good emote.
Yeah, I'm really glad they made that. It is the Nova announcer. Great question.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals. Need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals. Need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals than we have. We don't have enough minerals.
I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you for the follow, Rishi! Dude. Appreciate that. What a god. If you guys haven't followed his stream, follow his stream. I haven't been fortunate enough to catch it. Schedules just don't line up, but it's a good dude. I forgot my adept. That's a good dude right there. That's an upstanding member of our community. Oh god, build a Stargate. Build it in your main.
We need more Vespine. We don't have enough minerals.
Third, Probe can come home.
We serve with pride. Pours Allah. Give us your command.
I counted maybe like 7 or 8 drones, I think.
There's 11 there right now.
Yeah, I'm bad at counting drones.
Well, the answer was there's enough.
That'll
So,
cost more
Sure.
minerals than we have.
pylon.
Need more minerals for that.
I have met the end. The Templar march. Higher.
There is a layer, and she's dead either way. Bummer.
Oracle perceiving.
Probes. Oracle.
I think we need more pylons.
The first
Another
order
pylon.
shall persevere. Where shall we march?
Probes.
Just sworn I made them.
Our windows.
That'll cost more minerals than
Phoenix.
we have.
The threads of
Construct additional pylons.
dimensional strings.
Robo Twilight.
We don't have enough research complete. Need more minerals for that.
More gates.
Glory to the Daemons.
One more pylon.
Let us
Teleport successful.
2 adepts. Go take our third.
let your
I guess we might have enough already.
Yeah, we do.
Gateways.
Can't warp that in. We don't have enough minerals. Need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals than we have. Need more minerals for that.
Templar tech.
Our
Oh
base
look.
is under attack.
Bring the oracles back
Our
to
base
defend.
is under
Warp it in your
attack.
main. On a fast pylon.
That'll cost more minerals
But
than we
Met,
have.
run the probes if you have to.
Okay.
But bring the oracles and fight.
Our base is under attack.
Keep warping in as necessary as the warp-in cycles become available. Hard wall that if you
Our
can.
probes are under attack.
Keep warping in. Run the probes away from the links.
Where? There's links everywhere.
Enemy is gunning for our probes.
Warp your gates and warp it. We're dead.
Okay.
Really, the only reason you lost was because you didn't block the wall at your natural.
Yeah.
The wings in your main were a non-issue. They get
Mhm.
cleaned up by oracles and weapons, but you can't let the whole army into your natural.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
And you spent a lot of time watching the adept at your natural fight.
Yeah, I
You,
don't.
went and looked at it, and you sat there for like 3 or 4 seconds, and I said wall it because I didn't say it right away because I thought that's why you were looking at your natural, but you didn't actually do anything while you were looking at it.
Yeah, I have no recollection of why I was doing it. I mean, I'm sure I wasn't just staring blankly, being like, "Oh, this is not great." I'm sure I was trying to figure something out, but I can't remember what it was.
People keep doing that build, and I'm of the opinion it's not good.
But it keeps working.
Because, no, the Ling Drop, Ling Flood build?
Oh, okay.
No, people do it in GM, and
Mhm.
I'm yet to lose to it, because every build that Protoss does that's even slightly coherent can respond to that and beat it, even without scouting it. Like, you have 2 oracles, and you're building going up to 6 gateways. It's like, oh no,
Right.
Zerglings. And if you're doing a Glaives build, you just win. If you're doing DT build, you're fine. Like, I'm not sure what that build is supposed to beat.
Maybe he can tell us?
It's like, no, well, I know GM players who do it, and I just kill it, and I'm like, wow, that wasn't scary.
Right.
So I don't know who made that build or what their intent was, but I don't see it.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Do not know.
You sure you weren't playing Avlo as Zerg?
No, I was playing a teammate. Avlo Zerg is silly. I haven't. My MMR is too high to queue him, but I've watched
Oh,
him
really?
play.
Okay. Alright.
I can queue as Terran though, but he doesn't play Terran that much.
Oh, what I was going to ask is, how are we for time? I know both of you guys are kind of donating to me here.
I have infinity time.
Infinity time today?
Infinity.
PogChamp, you usually have to
I got
eat.
it.
I mean, I might have to eat, but that
Okay.
takes 5 minutes.
Okay.
Swallow food. Come back.
There, I've hung out with my family. Fine. It's done. Okay, cool. Shall we play
Even
another?
if I do have to eat, it won't be for another hour at least. Maybe
Okay.
an hour and a half.
Sounds good to me. Go, go.
Go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Just updated the stream title so that those who are just coming in don't have to wonder who our opponent is or wait for me to click on the Zerglings that are killing me.
Have enough minerals.
Your location hotkeys aren't centered on your nexus, and it bothers me more than it should.
We have more minerals than we have.
But like you have to center them later. If you want that.
When I build a Nexus, I add it to my Nexus hotkey, double tap my Nexus hotkey to center it, and then reassign the location hotkey.
Yeah, I do that as
every
Zerg.
time I place a base.
I do it as Zerg, I don't do it as Sus, it doesn't bother me. Because there's nothing I'm indexing off of that, right? I'm not like trying to box a queen in the exact same place or anything like that.
My OCD cares, okay?
It's funny.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
It's like, this game my worker second was fine, a game or two ago it wasn't, and I just never know why. I never know how I'm messing it up.
You can't. It's not always possible to do with just the rally. Sometimes you have to tell the probes.
Oh.
You'll see me like spam click a probe onto a mineral patch.
Huh.
Let's be like, this is the patch I want you on.
Interesting. Okay, so that must be why.
No, it's not necessarily possible to do with rally. Sometimes it
We
is.
don't have enough
But
minerals.
it's like luck-based or something. Lord Strahd, this Zerg is allowed to do whatever they want.
That'll cost more
Because
minerals.
In
we're...
fact, he's been instructed to not do the same thing too many
Don't have
times in
enough
a row.
minerals.
Mhm.
That was my I was like, do you know how to do
More
like small
minerals for
ends
that.
and stuff? And he said, yeah. And I said, cool, just mix it up then.
Rip me.
He can go super greedy macro, he can cheese you, he can do whatever the heck he wants. Pile on.
Thanks.
Seems more pylons are required. Construct additional pylons.
Last time I actually could tell what build he was doing from the production tab. I saw the dropper lords.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But I went, Aerith hasn't actually seen anything that tells him he's doing this, so I just
Right.
my mouth shut.
You had the sound in your voice that told me you knew. Like, when it arrived, there was no surprise.
Here.
Yeah, no, I knew.
Najakar, Mina.
Maybe I shouldn't look at the production tab. But then sometimes I think you haven't started pylons when you have.
Yeah.
That is a lot of back and forth queued on that probe. And we're gonna cancel them all because we saw a third. What are those?
It's Evo Chamber and a Roach War.
Nice.
Glory to the day.
What's that mean?
I don't know whether that's guaranteed to be a like all-any push or if that's just like he wants upgrades.
I mean, saying +1 roaches would have been an acceptable answer.
Okay.
You don't have to specify when they're coming.
Okay.
At least recognize that he wants upgraded roaches. For
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah. Opponent wants upgraded roaches, but I don't know when they're coming.
Yes, execute Oracle perceiving. Faith before fear. You seek guidance?
No layer. That makes me kind of feel like maybe this is an all-in. But I don't know. Because there's no tech path forward, really, right?
Yeah, but he has 3 bases, so it can't be.
It's not like a
all-in.
2-base all-in, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Oracle, you can put it. You can leave the Oracle on an attack path if you want.
That's a
Oh,
good
look, a
idea.
layer.
There's a layer.
Pylons.
strings attuned.
There is a consistent way to measure action latency
I think we need
to
more
compare
pylons.
mine to yours.
Yeah.
Na Zuktai.
We need gateways. We need prison. Templar tech. All these things come before our third.
That'll cost more minerals than we have. We need more minerals for that.
Even the Templar tech comes before?
Yep. Once you have all the structures for your push, you can
Okay.
build a third. And the third will go down at about 515.
Okay.
Give or take a few seconds.
Najakar, Mina. Combat awaits. Iron.
More for gates, natural. Warp and cycles are a valuable resource, never forget.
Okay.
Send prism.
Give us your.
Adepts in the little hidey hole.
Let your will be heard.
Keep building probes. Warp the gates in your main. Warp in Templar. Gargoyles.
We are the light of the Caucasus.
Start an Immortal and Storm. And keep making probes.
Research complete.
How can I aid you?
Second robo. And a move for units.
That'll cost more than we have.
Choo. They're not all hot speed. Get them together. Don't you dare trickle those in. Start another Immortal, a move. Probes. Oh, the third's on the other side. Probably want to send this on the same side as the third.
Yeah.
Hey, we're getting queens and things.
Huh. I guess not. Construct additional pylons.
This is going well.
Yeah.
We're done with the research.
Warp and Templar at your third, take the gases at your third.
You still want them at my third?
No, probably not.
Alright.
More Immortals and the probes.
I think we need more pylons. The enemy is gunning for our probes.
It's okay. The Immortal. Oh, it's first drops. Send an Immortal over there too. I mean, we're killing him, so we don't really care about economic
Yeah.
damage. Make sure you clean up this stuff at your base. And reorganize your economy. Run the probes! They're all dying! And send some units.
We don't have enough minerals.
Lost the prism.
We don't care. No one cares about the fate of that prism.
Okay.
Just stabilize at home and you're gonna be ahead.
Okay.
Warp in Stalkers because he's flying around with these overlords, or bring your Phoenix back. Where's your Phoenix?
We see Anan Porkal.
Warp in your main, or get your units over towards where he's dropping the archers. You have like three Zealots and an Immortal in your main watching.
Need more minerals for that.
Get our economy back in order as much as you can. You have 9 idle workers somewhere. Warp in Templar somewhere.
That'll cost more minerals.
Probes. Spend basically the units we want right now are Templar because we have a lot of gas, and probes because we don't have a lot of probes.
We are the light of the Caucasus.
We've completely mined out a mineral field.
Get your army like somewhere.
Yeah, I'm working on
it. Two more Immortals as money permits.
Naja
Oh,
Khan.
one more. Immortal. Make like a bunch of Archons if you can
Fire
at your
shall be
third,
reclaimed.
somewhere outside of your base. You have enough. Yeah.
That's gonna require more gas.
Kassam de Templar. My charge.
An Eridine Rashagan.
We're finally got our base organized. So how do you feel right now? Ahead? Behind?
Ahead.
Good. You were correct.
Nothing left in that
Quite far
mineral
ahead.
cluster.
Our fates are one.
Did you only say that because I asked?
No,
Good.
I see.
I actually think I'm ahead.
Harmonized.
Mineral field depleted.
Take the gases on your third.
Seems more
And you just saw his army.
required.
Does his army look scary to you?
No.
Go kill him.
Oh, good point.
Go win the game.
Okay.
Get your, I think you have some immortals or something. You can do that.
We serve with pride.
Make sure your army is together and then go kill him. Choo choo.
Okay, okay,
Time to
okay.
go.
We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go this way.
Honestly, you could just go through the middle. But the bottom also works towards his third. Just not the top, because he doesn't have a base that way.
Yeah, makes sense.
Look, there's something
Drop.
in our main. Nope. Empty.
Warp that in.
No, not a dropper, Lord. Warp
Okay.
in at your third. Start more immortals.
I
Start more
think we
gateways.
need more pylons.
Ready to fight together. What's your army doing? It's a big line. Not that it's gonna matter much, but floating a lot of money. And we're trickling still.
It's hard to control.
Don't fight into all those spines. We have like no units left. Back
Okay.
up, back up, back up.
Okay.
Make more immortals. Alright, kill a. Have that Archon punch his third and then back up.
Our base is under attack.
You can recall back to your
Our
third.
fate.
Nothing left in that mineral cluster.
Make sure you have your Phoenix chase down those units. Please warp in and morph your gateways. You can warp in Stalkers in the path of the Overlords.
We've completely
Kill the Overlords. Why are you running the probes? You have units. Bring them back. You're sending them. You just sent all the probes in the path of the Overlords.
The enemy is gunning for our probe.
You don't need to run probes from non-AoE things when you have units present.
When you ask questions, I'm likely to try to spend my brain answering you instead of playing. Just tell me what to do, don't ask why I'm doing bad things.
Okay. Reorganize your economy because we have 53 probes on one base.
We are the blades of iron. Ula Sadari.
Our base is under attack.
There's roaches outside your natural. That immortal and a warpin can deal with them. Just fine.
Glorious combat is upon us.
Upgrade is ready for use.
Great. Once again, we need to regroup our army and start +3 attack.
I have no idea why I just stormed my own base. That was not my
And
intention.
a 4th base and a bunch of archons.
Not enough Vespes. Huh. Seems more pylons are required.
Quick, his army. Morph those archons quick and get your army down there. A move, don't move command. There's a bunch of probes in your army.
Mineral field depleted.
For Artanis.
I don't believe you.
We are the light of the cosmos.
There are 4 probes in your army.
Honor
Okay.
guides me.
Here, buy those
Where shall we
immortals.
mark?
Keep making immortals.
Stand against the dark.
Naja.
+3 attack.
Justice be done. I like the fire. Un Orkai Atu Asa.
Oh, look. Make sure you revelate those lurkers. Revelate. Revelate.
I lost my hotkey for it.
Burn all this. Oh, we burrowed everything. It's good for us. Or Ben. Just witnessed a High Templar melee killing a lurker with its attack.
We serve with pride.
Our minds
We have like 20 idle probes in their natural. Get them back to mining. Keep making immortals.
We don't have enough minerals. Huh. I guess I need more minerals for that. We've exhausted a Vesper geyser.
Yeah, killing the base in the corner is not a bad plan. Try to go revelate his army while your army is shooting at that.
The threads of fate lie there.
Warp in more Templar.
Mineral
make
field
Archons.
depleted. That's gonna require more
There he is.
gas.
Revelate him. Revelate him. Run away.
One of our
Get your army
pylons
back
is
into
under enemy
position.
fire.
It shall be done.
We've completely mined out a mineral field.
We are the light. We seek enlightenment.
You can start a fleet beacon and maybe push if you want.
Upgraded. Ready for nothing left in that mineral cluster.
Make sure you have your Oracle on hand for revelating. And you have an Ob, so that's
You
good.
seek guidance.
Make sure your army is regrouped before the fight.
Yeah.
That'll cost more minerals than
Olak Natai.
we don't have enough minerals.
Good working.
Thanks.
Let us begin.
Never look at him again. Push. Make sure we revelate to see. Are there lurkers up here? Oh, there are. Cool. Please. Move. Hey, move.
Mineral field depleted.
Tough one.
So the biggest mistake that game was like engaging with a third of our army 3 times at his third base. Like if you look at the army value graph, you were like winningly ahead pretty
Uh-huh.
much all game after the early game,
Mm-hmm.
but you kept like getting frazzled and not having your units together.
You tell me when.
Damn, that was really good. Yeah, you basically won after the first push. Like, I sent my roaches to your base,
Mm-hmm.
not really anticipating like that early of a push.
Right.
And yeah, I basically died.
But
Like,
I
I
couldn't.
saw the gate. I saw that you had like about 5 gateways, and I should have known that it was gonna be a kind of like a timing push like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I just didn't. I'm sort of like underestimating you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you trashed me so hard the first 2 games that it kind of like makes sense, right?
Yeah. So I just get super thrown off when you actually like do shit that
Yeah. Well, okay, so
decent.
let's hand this advantage to Infestilin then. Thank you, Ploxum, for the emotes. I appreciate you. Appreciate you cheering me on. And no pants boner. I love meme names in the Twitch chat because the streamer has to read them. It's like, hi 420 Pepe Man 69. Welcome to the stream and thanks for hitting that follow
This
button.
is
right?
why Artosis calls everyone guy in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It also makes him invulnerable to unpronounceable names such as mine, right? Oh god, I totally got distracted. I was gonna make a point to Infestilin. Oh, let's hand him this advantage since I've got a GM in my ear, right? It's always this build, Infestilin. This is the only thing that we're trying to learn is how can I do this like Charge Lot Archon, like semi-committed push into just normal vanilla macro play where I'll either fight you with like Archon Immortal, or eventually if you keep living for too long, tech into carriers. Like that's the game
Right,
plan, and
yeah.
it'll always just be that.
Yeah, and that's super standard, super like rounded play. So yeah.
Yeah. So the things that I'm bad at that you're kind of already seeing, right, are anything that you're doing to throw off my plan, like this harass, right, really threw me into disarray. Like I had probes all over hell. I had probes hotkeyed into my army. At one point, I unhotkeyed my oracles, and I couldn't revelate the lurkers at my third. So stuff like that throws me really bad. And then just like the lurker play in general, I used to be really bad against because I would never revelate. And like it seems like we're finally gaining ground there. But any of these disruptive types of actions are really good against me. Oh, we were looking for how I, after you know, quote unquote winning the game, how did I not win with my push is what we were going to examine.
Our probes are under
Right,
attack.
I could fast forward through all of this mess, right? So it's like, we're way ahead, we know we're way ahead, but I'm scrambling.
Well, I mean,
Could
that's
have,
what.
like defended all of his harass in a more simplified manner than what you did. And by
That's-
that I mean warp in a wave at each base and leave them there, and then you can never do that ever again.
But I did warp in a bunch of different, or I had army
Yeah,
at least.
but then you kept like moving them all over the place, and you would
Mm,
run the probes away even when there were units there, which you didn't need to do, and just added to the chaos. Right?
Okay.
You can just warp because you know there's roaches in the dropper lords, right? Because you've seen him dropping roaches everywhere.
there was a
just-
point where I assumed that it was done, and that they were empty, actually. And then roaches plopped out in my main base, and I was sad.
Literally warp in a wave of stalkers at
Mhm.
each base, and then just continue on your merry way because he can't do anything anymore.
Okay.
But instead of all this like rehawking units and sending probes everywhere, it's just a huge hassle that
Okay.
can be defended in a much more simple way, right?
Right.
Leave
Okay.
some units at each base, and then just you're done.
I have two questions about that. The first one is you say warp in a wave of stalkers in each base. Do you actually mean spend an entire warp in wave of stalkers at one base and then wait for the cooldown and then do it again, or do you mean put three?
Spend a warp in at the base with the overlords,
Okay.
and by the time he flies somewhere else, you have another warp in.
Okay.
And leave the units at the first base.
Okay. That makes sense.
The one thing I do want to say is that like the whole thing with the roach drops after the first push was just to get my like it's just a desperate attempt to come back into the game because I basically lost the game, but I was just sort of banking on you kind of mismanaging
Mhm.
your units, which kind of worked. Like it gave me a small lead, but then like I pushed in with the
And then
with the lurkers, and then they all just like died. So that was the end.
What'd you say, Hjax?
Burrowed his whole army by mistake and said just the lurkers, or maybe he burrowed everything but the lurkers. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I accidentally burrowed everything. I don't know how I did that.
That
I'm
was like,
making very
whoops.
strange mistakes.
All right, so we're saying that this fight went bad, and so the first part that's wrong is just the way the army moves across, right? We engage with a third of it, and a third, and a third.
Literally, just like tell your units to move to the edge of creep, and then fight. Right? Just don't.
Yeah.
Just two actions. Right? First, send the units close to his base, and then
Uh-huh.
send the units to actually fight.
Uh-huh.
Don't just a move across the map, because
Yeah.
your charge loss move at a different speed than your immortals, so it's gonna separate.
Okay. Okay. So that's
You can't just do this. Right?
yeah,
This-
yeah.
Literally, the only way you wouldn't win the game here is by doing this.
Mhm.
If your units are together, there's literally nothing he can do.
Right. Okay. I have a second question about defending the drops, and then I have one more question about this engagement, and then we can play another game because I know everybody wants to see games. So question number 2 is about moving workers versus not moving workers. So this morning I woke up early and I watched the GSL finals. And in the GSL finals, in I think game 4, Maru drops TY at a point, and TY has some stuff at the third, and he goes, I'm gonna not move my SCVs because these Marines and this medevac and this tank are gonna clean up this like half of a medevac of Marines, or like 3/4 full medevac or whatever. And I looked at that and I said, I never do this, but I just watched the base god TY not move his workers and give no shits and just keep mining. And I'm going to ask Hjax when to do that and how do I know, because what I have the fear of is that I'm going to not move my stuff, and by not moving my stuff, I'm going to lose a bunch of probes.
If you have enough units to flawlessly beat the units in the Overlords, right? If you have enough units by the base that you can kill all the Roches without losing any units, then you're fine. Right?
Is that
Or
ever
not-
true?
It's always true.
Without losing any unit? What do I have, 10 Immortals in my main?
If you have 1 Immortal and 6 Zealots, that's probably enough.
Okay.
Maybe you'll lose a Zealot if
Yeah.
you focus fires.
Yeah, we'll lose a Zealot or 2 or something. Yeah.
But
Okay.
probably won't. Right. 1 Immortal and 6 Zealots versus 8 Roaches that are coming out 2 at a time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Probably going to be okay.
Okay. And then, so the last question then is about this engagement. So, charge lots fighting Ravager Vials. This was a new thing for me. And so, and then also the shape of this engage, right? I don't really want to funnel in through this, but I also want to pressure, and I don't know how to do that either, really.
Wait, what?
So, okay. We're gonna back up just a quick second. We're gonna back up a quick second. Oh, that was way too much of a second, sorry. Okay, so I knew where the creep was. I didn't A-move to the creep. Actually, I kind of actually did A-move onto the creep, didn't I? So what did I do wrong here? Because this is... I just did what we described was the right thing, right? Oh, then I A-move further. Okay, before I group up. But I did A-move to, like, right here. Okay, so now my question, though, is... There's this crappy little choke that Infestilin is wisely trying to filter my units through, because I've got a bigger army than him, right? And he has Ravagers. I don't know, like... okay, assume my stuff is all together or whatever. Or maybe assume I just have less stuff. How do I take this fight properly?
Literally, wait, what do you mean?
So, in a minute here, so he biles, right? And now he's going to pull back. How do I mean, do I just A-move into that and funnel through this choke?
Sure, why not? He has, like, nothing.
Okay.
You're up 20 supply.
But then the other thing is, like, sometimes if I were to A-move to here right now, to behind the Ravagers, some of this stuff, yeah, is going to fight that. But, like, some of this stuff is going to be like, oh, cool, a base and a spine crawler, I'm going to fight that. And I get into a lot of trouble where, like, this actually happens in this fight. I think my Immortals are, like, back here fighting this, and this is how we end up, like, losing a bunch of our stuff.
I mean, even you could practically beat this army with just your Templar. So what your Templar need to be doing in fights like this is standing in front of your units and storming anything that's trying to walk towards you.
But they'll
then you
just
just
die
never-
to the Ravagers.
No, I actually agree with that because you're zoning me away, and then you'd be able to get the base. Like if you can zone my army away with your Templar, then you